A very good morning to you and welcome to the newspaper review reaching you live from our studios at High Impact Television. I am Oyin Priye Krumale. Being joined by a legal practitioner who is reaching us via phone call from Lagos, and his name is Larry Emenike. Good morning, Mr. Larry Emenike, and welcome to the newspaper review.
Good morning.
It's good to have you this morning.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Now let's take a look at one of the biggest stories in the front burners of newspaper is about the adulterated fuel that is currently on circulation, about 100 million liters. When this story came to the fore, I don't know if you had experience of buying the adulterated fuel as well. Have you?
I haven't had that experience, but I know of it very well.
Okay. What do you see out there? What can you tell us about it with regards to the ministries, departments, and agencies, and the process of bringing this fuel in, the tendency that we may have litigation against the government as soon if, since we have legal advisors telling motorists, giving motorists such information. What's your perspective on it?
I think it's rather unfortunate that we are passing this terrain now, because one has always been in the front border of our policy, regarding this petroleum sector. And the government continues to have these policy somersaults as regards what they really want. I'm talking about the subsidy.
Okay.
And today it's removed, tomorrow it's not removed. And again, they want investors into the field. And whatever we are seeing remains the same. I got to know about that particular trouble, from the outburst of one of our celebrities here that has to do with a filling station somewhere in Lekki, which I would not like to mention.
Okay.
And it was a serious outburst, and then I was passing through that particular route that particular day, and it was terrible. So I think it's rather unfortunate we are having this experience, because going by what the government has made us to understand, and the suffering, the pains Nigerians have been going through since the increment of this particular PMS, or will I call it the petroleum, by this government, they've increased it with so many excuses, assurances to Nigerians that we are not going to have it bad. And today, you have a sector that is not well regulated. You have a sector that, as far as I'm concerned with the reality on ground, it seems as nobody is really in charge. Our president remains the commander-in-chief and the chief minister of petroleum, and I've not had any time that the Senate that's supposed to have an oversight function regarding every ministry, has invited the president for some certain questions, regarding whatever we are seeing.
Okay, Barrister Emenike, just a moment. Let's look at it from another perspective. Even if the president is the Minister of Petroleum Resources, we have a Minister of State for Petroleum Resources who is Chief Temipre Silva, former governor of Bayelsa State. If the president is, in charge of other things as the nation, we have his deputy in that regards who should man the saddle regards to what's happening. And besides, we have the Petroleum Product Marketing Company. We also have the NNPC. They should manage it. The president, even if it's not directly involved.
Thank you for using the word that they should manage it.
Yes.
Are they managing it? Have they been given the power to do all those things? We're here in Nigeria, and we've seen how governments are run in Nigeria. You have a minister, a substantive minister, and you have a minister of state. And even you have a president and you have a vice president, and you look at, we are running a presidential system of government, my brother. And in a presidential system of government, it's like the winner takes it all. The president controls everywhere. The minister, the substantive minister controls everything. The local government chairman controls all the local government affairs. The governor controls the local government. So this is the challenge we have because of the insincerity of the kind of government we are running.
Okay.
And it has always been there, and we must be true. We mustn't shy away from the reality.
Okay, Barrister Emenike.
Receiver in this particular circumstance, yes, we have the Petroleum Management Authority and so many others.
Yeah.
Are they doing the job? Are they, the office they are holding, have they been allowed to do those things that they are supposed to do? That is the question here.
Okay.
It's not about whether they are in charge of this, or you have the principal, or you have the other marketing commissioner and all this. Are they doing what they're supposed to do? Where do they get their own directives from? Who gives the order?
Okay.
I'm here. we've been in the system, and I know that it's terrible. That you might even call that manipulative the Minister of State, and he will tell you that he doesn't know what's happening. It's unfortunate.
Barrister Imenike, let's look at it from another perspective. Petroleum Product Marketing Company, one of the stakeholders going by that article said that they were to be responsible for the pre-loading and post-loading monitoring, even when the government or the agencies bought the fuel from a foreign offshore company and they brought them back to the country. They should have taking a very, very good and close look at quality control procedures before bringing in this into the country. Did you, by way of looking at the value chain of bringing the product into the country, give some analysis with regards to that, please?
I've been to some of all these companies, the PPMC, and other, agencies of government that has to do with this sector, because you and me know that this sector, has a lot to do with the average masses. And for us that are social commentators and political analysts that are in the system, we've had privileges to have audience with some of all these people. And what the response we always get is not palatable. And it's not something I will state here,
okay,
but because it might look unfounded and so many other things.
Okay.
But the reality of Islam is that we are in for a very big run. One, how do we sell and how do we import? During the loading, you talked about preloading and postloading of even our diesel, the one that we sell outside this country. How does it go? That is why we cannot have accurate amount of crude oil that we are exporting till today. Nobody will give you, no matter whatever figures they are giving you. And that is also the challenge we are having. And that was the case we had during the past regime, when some certain people were importing empty drums, all in the name of importing fuels. And at the end, we discovered that people were paid for products that were never supplied. And the chain has come back. That same thing is what is happening now, and that is what we are experiencing now. From the records from my investigation and the collective investigation of, the supporting agencies we represent. So it's rather unfortunate where we have found ourselves. The issue with that particular sector, depends on the leadership. And we call a spade here. If the leadership of that particular ministry, is not seriously working, and we are looking for the other sectors within that economy that has no serious control of it. Yes, those agencies are supposed to monitor it, and who gives the command? Who controls the chain, as you rightly put it? The quality control and so many other things. It's all about, the corruption in the system has made it so bad that a lot of things might happen, except because of this thing that happened. Maybe some certain health supposed to roll, so that people will take up and know what they are responsible to do and be responsible to the people.
All right.
That is what I'm saying.
Okay, Dr. Barrister Imenike, let's look at it from another perspective. As a lawyer, it was said that the firm that supplied the product is a foreign firm to the Nigerian government, to the agencies right here in Nigeria, and vehicles or motorists who suffered some form of breakdown by virtue of using this adulterated petrol have been advised by some legal practitioners to sue the relevant agencies, including the government, as a party to that suit, to that litigation. What would be your proposal? Do you see the Nigerian government equally suing the foreign company that sold this refined product to us?
Thank you. You said the Nigerian government, and we are looking up to them to do the needful. If that should be the case, if the situation is not from us here, automatically, when the things start coming from down, because I know many of my friends are already gearing up, to take up the gauntlet to go to court regarding the damages in their cars, in their engines, in their generators. So I think it's going to open up a lot of, kind of worms, that exist within that particular sector. Who is in charge of who? The foreign firm, who are they responsible to? Because that is the major challenge. If we have the necessary documents, that we have signed, there must be clauses there that in the event we have such a thing, that this is what's going to go, this is what we are going to do. So So I think it's left for the government, to take up that particular challenge. We are looking up to the government because so many people are already gearing up to take up this challenge. If the government did not do the needful, because we expect the government to sue the firm, the foreign firm that is responsible, to give us this particular bad fuel. So we are looking up to them to take up the gauntlet. But if they fail to do that, we'll start from the scratch here and we will get to the top.
All right. Now, let's move away from that particular aspect. Now, let's go to the issue about disposing this dirty fuel. Even though the agencies responsible have been recalling about 80 or 100 million liters of the dirty fuel currently in circulation. But another question that came up is that, do we have the technology to dispose this dirty fuel without experiencing some form of environmental hazard that will cause some damage to the environment, given the fact that now we are currently battling and talking about issues with climate change?
Yes, it's something that everybody, all of us need to worry about. And it has been there. Go to Niger Delta, you will see the carnage that is going on there regarding some of all this gas flaring and all whatnot.
Review. Many thanks for watching this morning. You can send eyewitness report or info at impactstudios.com and direct messages on all our social media platforms at Impact TV and Impact TV UK. I am Oyi Priye Krumale.